We may know Emily Hampshire as Stevie on Schitt's Creek, but there's more to her than meets the eye. Although Stevie's story may have ended in 2020, Hampshire's keeps us enamored. Here's all you wanted to know about the actress who plays Stevie on Schitt's Creek. Emily Hampshire has starred in some pretty big ads, including a 2020 Super Bowl commercial for Tide. Interestingly, she didn't enter into the world of commercials until she was already famous, but not for lack of trying. Hampshire talked about her unusual career to mental floss and explained that while many actors get their start by racking up credits in commercials, she says she, quote, just didn't get them. The Tide commercial was Hampshire's first, and she crushed it. The reason she performed so well is that she actually liked the product she was selling in the commercial, something that wasn't true of the other commercials she had auditioned for. She admitted, "I'm just really bad at selling anything I don't actually use or like. It sounds like I'm trying to smuggle something at customs." Hampshire also has experience in the horror genre, having launched her acting career in 2 episodes of the 90s Nickelodeon horror show, Are You Afraid of the Dark? She first played girlfriend number 1, telling mental floss, "My only scene was to go over to the boy's house and make out with him." Hampshire followed that role with another episode of the same show, this time playing girlfriend number 2. She joked to the outlet, quote, "It was kind of a demotion." After Schitt's Creek wrapped, Hampshire returned to her horror roots with Home, a project she both starred in and produced. She also appeared in Quibi's 2020 horror show 50 States of Fright. Hampshire admitted that she's not the biggest fan of horror. She said, "When a horror script comes, I expect it to be the worst thing ever read, but this was good." Emily Hampshire brightened a lot of lives as Stevie on Schitt's Creek, but the role also proved to be a blessing for her in real life. Landing the gig came at a perfect time, not just in the actress's career, but also in her personal life. Hampshire was struggling to book roles, she hadn't acted in a year, and she had just gone through a divorce when she auditioned for the now iconic comedy. As the actress summed it up in an interview with Pop Sugar, "My pre-Schitt's life was Hampshire told Pop Sugar that she was down to $800 in savings and was about to start sleeping in her friend's closet when Schitt's Creek changed her life forever. She said, "I feel like I can appreciate work now for having not had it instantly before." Her audition was no easy process. After trying to send in a taped audition, she ended up auditioning live for co-creator and star Dan Levy. She told Pop Sugar, "I really had no recollection of my audition. I went in and I did the audition and he says it was great, but then I proceeded to get on the couch where they were sitting and lift my shirt over my head and hide my head in my shirt and rock back and forth." Fortunately, Levy found the whole thing charming, and Hampshire was awarded the role of Stevie. When Schitt's Creek ended after 6 seasons, many viewers would have happily continued watching for decades to come, but Emily Hampshire pointed out that things could have gone worse for Schitt's Creek's loyal viewers. She told Mental Floss, "Most shows don't know when they're going to end, they just get canceled." Since it was Schitt's Creek's creators who decided to end the show after 6 seasons, they were able to end it in a way that did the show justice. Hampshire hinted that she wouldn't have minded continuing to portray Stevie, but she said, "Dan had the luxury of doing it right. I've seen the ending, and I respect Dan's decision to end it now and in a way that stays true to the characters." While Schitt's Creek is beloved, the series took some time to get off the ground. The sleeper hit didn't actually take off until it hit Netflix. Toward the end of the show's run, she told Mental Floss, "It was kind of overnight. The last season, when I came back to Los Angeles, it was a whole different experience. Over Christmas, it seemed like everybody was watching Schitts. Suddenly, Hampshire was being noticed by fans in public, and Schitt's Creek had become a cultural icon." Hampshire said she loved doing the show, even before it made her famous, but once the show caught on with mainstream audiences, a switch flipped. She said, "Then we're suddenly at the SAG Awards and Nicole Kidman wants to take a picture with us." Hampshire told Advocate that she thinks Schitt's Creek suddenly soared in popularity, saying, "It was after a political time and people wanted something good with a good heart and not dumb and not easy good."
And that town you passed through, it's not called Schittsville. It's called Schitt's Creek. And it's where we live.
Playing Stevie on Schitt's Creek came naturally for Emily. In fact, it came a little too easily for the actress. She told Harper's Bazaar, "I honestly feel like playing Stevie is easier than me being me in my regular life. The real world is more difficult than doing a scene and having Stevie's dialogues and her relationships." Hampshire and Stevie have a lot in common, but the actress thinks there's at least one major difference between them. She said, "I've realized that I'm definitely not as cool as Stevie. While the role didn't exactly make her rich, it did make her some new friends and help revive her career. Hampshire. Hampshire told Harper's Bazaar that filming the show was, quote, like being at camp, and that she became especially close to her on-screen BFF, Dan Levy. Levy co-created Schitt's Creek in addition to starring as David, but that power dynamic didn't prevent the two from bonding. In an interview with Advocate, she said, "Dan changed my life in so many ways. I feel that he's changed my life in a very similar way to the way he's changed the lives of the people who watch the show." She went on to say, "David and Stevie's relationship has been the greatest thing ever to me." One of the best moments in Schitt's Creek is when we see Stevie transform into singer Sally Bowles when she takes on the lead in a community production of Cabaret. The role not only pushed Stevie out of her comfort zone and showed the audience a new side of her character, but it was also incredibly important to Emily Hampshire. She told Decider that, as a fan of musicals, Sally was a, quote, dream role. The actress revealed that she even mentioned the possibility of the citizens of Schitt's Creek performing Cabaret years earlier, but said, "I never in a million years thought Stevie would be part of it, or let alone play Sally Bowles." Hampshire performs a powerful rendition of Maybe This Time on the show. She explained, "I definitely wanted it to be how Stevie would emotionally connect to the song in a way that Stevie has never really let herself connect emotionally to anything or anyone. It felt like Stevie got that magical moment."
That's my friend.
What makes Emily Hampshire's portrayal of Stevie on Schitt's Creek even more impressive is that she was starring on another big show while filming it. Hampshire played Jennifer on 12 Monkeys from 2015 to 2018. Starring on two series let Hampshire show off her range. While Schitt's Creek is a comedy, 12 Monkeys is a time travel drama, and the character of Jennifer is very different from Stevie. She said to Harper's Bazaar, "Coming off of filming the first season of Schitts, where I'd been playing the person with the laziest job in the world, I had no idea the energy that would be required to do an hour-long sci-fi drama and play a crazy person in it." Filming both shows also took a toll on Hampshire, who told Town & Country that she found herself working on one during the daytime and then sleeping in a van in order to do night shoots for the other. Schitt's Creek was a big part of Emily Hampshire's life, so it stands to reason that she'd want something to remember her time playing Stevie on the show. Along with some other cast members, Hampshire swiped a lot of mementos from the set. Among the many things she told BuzzFeed she took were some pretty random things, like a brochure from the fictional airline Stevie briefly works for, Larry Air, and a Tamagotchi. She also took the massive stag painting from the motel, which is so big it barely fits in her home. She told Pure Wow, "So, in my 500-square-foot apartment, there is a life-size of a deer that takes up the entire room. It's amazing." Hampshire also has a lot of Stevie's flannel shirts in her wardrobe, but she didn't wait until Schitt's Creek wrapped to begin taking Stevie's clothes. She admitted to mental floss, "I always take her stuff, but for some reason the wardrobe women, they just find the perfect hoodie or the perfect jean, so I take those." While it's unlikely that Schitt's Creek will get a reboot anytime soon, it could get a spin-off someday. During an online discussion hosted by Cutwater Spirits, Emily Hampshire said she, quote, "would be down for all of that. It's not just the opportunity to revisit Stevie that's enjoyable. She'd also love to get the Schitt's Creek cast back together. Everyone really bonded during their 5 years on the show, and according to Hampshire, quote, actually all like each other." For the record, co-creator Dan Levy is open to the idea of a spin-off, telling Oprah Daily, "There's 1,000 different avenues I just think it's about. Only time will tell whether a Schitt's Creek spin-off becomes a reality, but we love the idea." There's one major genre Emily would love to check off her bucket list. The actress wants to dive into the world of superheroes, and she talked to Comic Book about which costumed hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe she could see herself playing. She noted, "I'd be very into playing She-Hulk. You think of She-Hulk and muscles and stuff, but the person who's behind it is just such a cool character." Unfortunately for all us Schitt's Creek fans, She-Hulk has already begun filming, with Tatiana Maslany, best known for her role in Orphan Black, starring as the lead. Hampshire also said she would be on board when fans on Twitter called for her to be cast as Spider-Woman. She tweeted in response, "I'm going to second this. The star would be just as content to play someone without superpowers, though," telling Comic Book, "I'd just love to play a comic book character. That idea is the coolest thing." Emily Hampshire's life may have changed after starring in Schitt's Creek as Stevie, but it didn't make her impervious to heartbreak. The actress went public with her relationship with singer Teddy Geiger in September 2018. A couple of months later, they were engaged, but the two never tied the knot. While the relationship might not have worked out, falling for Geiger and starring on Schitt's Creek helped Hampshire realize something about her sexuality.
Complicated?
Okay, yeah, so you're just really open to all wines.
I like the wine and not the label. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Dan Levy's character David is pansexual on the show, and Hampshire admitted to Passport that she didn't know what pansexuality meant before it came up in a scene. She said, "Then I found myself falling in love with a trans woman. I had previously been married to a man, so I was very confused." It was Levy who helped her realize that, like David, she is pansexual. As the actress put it, "I don't fall for people because of their bodies, I fall for them because of who they are." And we have to say, we love who Emily Hampshire is. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.